People deluded now. Stars and duds of the week. We've been waiting for the Premier League to return because we've had another pointless batch of international friendlies. But yeah, we've got through it. The Premier League definitely didn't disappoint. We've seen a lot. I'm an Arsenal fan, so obviously this week I'm laughing. We might get slapped next week, and next week might bring up a different story. But right now, obviously you wish Spurs and Chelsea both could lose, but Spurs didn't lose, so we can get on to Chelsea, as I am doing to all my friends. United didn't pick up full points, so that's as bad as a loss to my eyes when I get at my friends on WhatsApp and everything there. Cool, Liverpool and Spurs, they can sleep easy as well. And we've seen a lot of twists and turns and a lot of, I don't want to say high scoring games, but we've seen a lot of goals. So yeah, stars and duds of the week. Now, I might as well start with the stars. A lot of you told me to talk about managers and things like that, so I'm going to go with Pochettino as the manager for the side, purely because I felt he got his game plans man to a man. Credit to all the Spurs players, and they all could have been in it, to be fair, but man to each to a man, and them things there. I feel Pochettino got his tactics spot on. I feel the way they implemented their tactics that they clearly worked on all week. Spurs did it to devastating effect, and it's given me a lot to to think and speak about in regards to us playing them next week. Spurs were spot on, so I think Pochettino has to be the gaffer for this side. In regards to the keeper, I was gonna go with. I do want to still go with Lloris, and I was gonna go with Lloris. Probably got spoilt because the only bad thing you could probably say about the Spurs game is that they didn't keep a clean sheet. That's probably the only straw you could pick at, and Lloris would have been a shoo-in for that because it would have symbolised something. I feel Leno of Arsenal had a good game. I feel it's funny, but Fabianski could be in stars and duds of the week because on one hand he played alright, but on the other hand his team conceded a lot of goals. So I'm gonna go with Leno in goal. I'm going to go with Leno, Arsenal's Leno. I mean, a bit of Arsenal bias in that, to be fair, admittedly, but I'm going to go with Leno. I know he didn't play at centre-half, but I'm going to go with Eric Dyer. He had a good game for Spurs in midfield, as did Sissoko and Eriksen, and like I said, the rest of the Spurs players. But purely to get in my side, I'm going to go with Dyer. Do you know what? I'm going to go with Dyer, and I'm actually going to change. I'm going to go with Foyth of Spurs. I feel he had a decent game as well, to be honest with you. So them two are going to partner each other. I know they didn't partner each other on the match day, but them two are going to be it. Left back, purely because in an attacking sense, I'm going to go with Arsenal's Kohler. Robertson could have been in here, to be fair with you. There's a couple other options. But I feel Kohler, definitely when we was losing, when the first 20 minutes, when Bournemouth were all over us, I felt he was the one person that if anyone was going to look like something was going to happen in an attacking sense, because he did get a couple rings ran around him in a defensive sense, as did Bellerin. He looked like someone that was going to make something happen, and he was involved in the goals as well, if I remember correctly. So yeah, we know he's very good going forward. Defensively, it remains to be seen, and I don't feel he's passed any of the tests defensively, for me anyways, when he's been asked of it. A lot of it is probably because he's not been able to maintain a steady bit of fitness for a long period, but today he did good enough, so Cole is going to be there. Trent Arnold, he had a good game for Liverpool, and that free kick was just the cherry on top of the cake, essentially. Clearly, you do hours of that on the training ground. Some of them go in, many of them go wide, and it gets frustrating. That's why you do it. You practice until you're confident, and we've seen him chip in with literally a couple free kicks like that now. So that's going to be the back five. In midfield, David Silva. If you've been watching Manchester City, I don't need to tell you why any City player is going to be in my stars of the week, to be honest with you. Torreira, it's nice to see an Arsenal player again on a decent one, so I'm going to go with Torreira. I'm going to go with Dele Alli as well. I can't remember if I said at the beginning, but he obviously scored, and I feel the movement of him, Son and Kane was very good, especially Kane's not going to be in this, but especially Kane, because I feel Kane deserved his goal, but I feel Kane was very selfless in the sense that he knew for obvious reasons he's going to be a heavily marked man by the fullbacks if he goes to the channels, and the centre halves when he stays in the middle. It looked to me as a thing where he conceded, whether it's between him and Poch. Okay, I'm a marked man, so let me use this to my advantage. They're going to follow me wherever I go. Son and Dele, you lot take advantage of the gaps that I left, and they did that to fantastic effect, to be honest. And away from that, in an attacking sense, Dele Alli did a lot of doggy work defensively. In regards to how he marks Jorginho, not just him, but how him primarily was trying to get tight to Jorginho and disrupt him from playing and getting on the things of it and starting transitions for Chelsea. It's given me a lot to think about in regards to Arsenal's game against them at the next weekend. But Dele Alli's got to be in here with David Silva and Lucas Torreira. Again, Lucas Torreira, just nice to see an Arsenal player just putting in convincing performances consistently, people. So Torreira's going to be in there. Up front, I feel Son could have even had a double hat-trick, man. He was running rings around people, and the way he spanned Jorginho for his goal, again, cherry on top of the cake. Son had a good game, man, and he's not really been on the goal scoring front this season. Correct me if I'm wrong, Spurs fans. But maybe this is, I hope not, because we got you lot next week. But maybe this is the sort of Kickstarter thing he sees now, and he'll go on to do the rest of it. Up front, I'm going to go with Sterling in a false 9 with Sane. Again, don't have to justify with any City players here. Sane bagged the brace. Sterling had another good game, convincing performance, and the sky's the limit for him right now. Everything he touches is working. Special mentions have to go out to obviously people that didn't make the team. I feel the most unlucky for me personally is Spurs. It's Sissoko. Everyone from City could have been in here. Robertson and a couple other Liverpool players. Salah. Glenn Murray could have been in here. Beeling of Huddersfield. Mitrovic could have been in here. Lindelof was the only player to really leave the pitch as a Man United player of any sort of pride in their performance. Declan Rice for the same reasons of West Ham. So yeah, man, that's the starts. Vardy for obviously bagging the equaliser and them things there. Aubameyang, if I haven't said it already. But yeah, on to duds now. I'm gonna go with Sarri. Now, I'm a big fan of what he does and how he likes to play football. But the very same things they say with Wenger and adapting in big games specifically to this one is what he got wrong. He went with too many creative sort of players, people that has more, I don't want to say poetry in motion, but you know, you got Hazard, you got Kovacic, you've got Jorginho. When it all works and works perfectly well, Willian, it's amazing. But he could have been a bit more cerebral in that sense. So yeah, I feel they were let down. And the one player they did have that can break down and disrupt play seems to constantly be played out of position in N'Golo Kante. Jorginho got swarmed alive, and yeah, he should have known in Spurs they can play football with Eriksen and players like that, but they've got a very industrial midfield. Dembele is obviously injured. Sissoko, for what he might lack in talent, no disrespect, makes up for it in hard work and application. Dyer's an all action sort of midfielder, sort of flying into tackles, trying to disrupt play, bully, and then sort of thing. So he could have been a bit more cerebral. He didn't. You went with players that their skills are more on the ball and stuff, like I said, hoping that Spurs might sit back. But Spurs, like I said, Poch came here on crud. Poch's tactics were spot on. They didn't want to sit back, especially at home against Chelsea, and they did it to expert effect. They exploited Chelsea's back line as well, high line, and everything's there. You've brought Luiz back into the side and revitalised him of sorts. He's obviously Luiz will be in this, and has to hold his hands up for his error. But these are all your decisions, sort of thing. And yeah, man. Felt that his substitutions could have been a bit earlier, sort of thing, things like that. But yeah, man, Sarri's got to be the manager for the side. I'm gonna go with Fabianski. I mean, his team conceded 4 goals. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's not his fault. I think you don't want to say clearly didn't play amazing, but you can't really point any fault at him. Forgive me if I'm wrong, and he did make an error. But I'm gonna go with Fabianski in the duds. Right back, I'm going to go with Ashley Young. He just didn't have a good game for United. I'm going to go with Alonso at Chelsea. Centre half, I'm going to go with Luiz of Chelsea as well. You obviously saw him move out the way for the goal and just didn't have a good game. I'm going to go with Brighton's Kayal as well at centre half. Midfield is where it gets a bit techie. Midfield is where it gets a bit techie with people, because admittedly, I've got to go with Jorginho. Obviously, Jorginho's a shoe-in. I'm going to go with Matic, and I'm going to go with Henderson. Henderson got sent off, silly red card to collect. Jorginho was poor, and so was Matic. Up front, he's going to have to do a job for me on the right wing, but he got sent off as well in Maddison. Lukaku is going to go up front as well. Still not scored at Old Trafford since March. And Morata's going to go up there. So to recap, we're going with Fabianski, Ashley Young at right back, Alonso at left back, Luiz and Kayal at centre half. In midfield, we're going with Henderson, Jordan Henderson, Jorginho, and Matic. Up front, we're going with Maddison's going to do a job for me, Lukaku, and Morata. 4-3-3. Special mentions could have went out to Willian could have been in here. Vintagre of Wolves could have been in here. Lingard could have been in here. Pogba, Neves of Wolves as well. Mkhitaryan, to be fair with you. Moriapa, Diop, Balbuena, Felipe Anderson, forgive me if I'm wrong. There was a few that could have been in here still. So yeah, man, it's nice to see the Premier League's back and them things there. But for now, that's my stars and duds of the week. So I'm gonna get out of here. People deluded. I'm out.